Have you ever given any thought to what it is that keeps us from being happy? One of the most controversial philosophers of all time, Arthur Schopenhauer, put out the unsettling theory that a man's yearning for happiness is what causes him to be miserable. At first look, this statement can seem like a direct criticism of our unrelenting quest for well-being. But when we think more deeply, we notice that there is more to it than just a negative outlook. Is it possible that one of the biggest causes of pain is actually the constant search for happiness? What can we learn from a never-ending loop of needs and frustrations if the response is yes? Schopenhauer's conclusion is both disconcerting and freeing. Happiness emerges when we accept reality as it is, devoid of illusions, rather than being something that can be attained. He challenges us to confront life head-on and discover purpose in embracing challenges rather than running away from them. Schopenhauer was born in 1788 in the Polish city of Danzig, which is now Gdansk, during a time of significant change. The Napoleonic Wars were changing European politics, and the Industrial Revolution was changing society. His ideas, which held that human life was connected to an unending cycle of unmet needs, were greatly impacted by this turbulent environment. He experiences a persistent sense of misery and deprivation as a result of his never-ending quest for fulfillment. According to the philosopher, we are never really pleased in life, since it is a never-ending battle between will and reality. The quest of material success, power, or pleasure turns out to be a trap because it only results in frustration. Schopenhauer, however, provides a solution to the human predicament and does not stop at highlighting the bad parts of life. We can attain a type of freedom where inner serenity is dependent on accepting things as they are rather than on gratifying cravings, by acknowledging that sorrow and frustration are unavoidable aspects of life. The foundation of Schopenhauer's distinctive perspective, which saw desire and volition as the primary drivers of human existence, was the blending of Western and Eastern philosophy. He criticized the optimism of progress and the rationalism of the Enlightenment as he grew older, forming a disillusioned view of the world. He believed that history was not a route to a better future, but rather a never-ending cycle of wars and hardships brought on by the want to live. An illogical and blind force that caused people to yearn for things they could never have. Please remember to like and share these insights if you find them enjoyable. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, so you can follow future posts like this one. Schopenhauer presented his philosophical framework in his seminal work, The World as Will and Representation, which was published in 1818. The prominence of theorists like Hegel, who advocated dialectical optimism and an unflinching trust in human development, eclipsed the book, which was overlooked by the majority of the scholarly community. Schopenhauer, on the other hand, denied the possibility of enduring enjoyment and instead saw life as a never-ending cycle of unmet expectations and unavoidable pain. He lived a solitary existence away from the glare of academics and prevailing philosophy as a result of this lack of acknowledgement. However, Schopenhauer continued to write until his latter years, and only then did he start to get the credit he so well earned. His theories were embraced by intellectuals such as Friedrich Nietzsche and had a significant impact on artists like Richard Wagner. After his death in 1860, Schopenhauer left behind a philosophical legacy that continues to influence modern thinking. In reality, his pessimism, which is sometimes interpreted as nihilism, invites us to view life more clearly, to accept its challenges and acknowledge the unsettling realities it presents. Because of this viewpoint, Schopenhauer is an intriguing and timely thinker whose theories still pose problems for us today. Let's now explore the useful insights and real-world applications that his philosophy provides. The first reflection asks us to let go of the weight of other people's opinions. How often do we base our choices on what other people think we should do? Instead of always pursuing other people's praise, Schopenhauer instructs us to concentrate on what genuinely offers inner calm. This craving for outward approval breeds uncertainty and worry. These days, the urge to live truthfully is made even more difficult by social media, which intensifies this continual comparison. Nonetheless, it inspires us to live in accordance with our own emotions and principles, free from the influence of other people's viewpoints. This is a manifestation of honesty and freedom, rather than merely a decision. In his second meditation, Schopenhauer discusses suffering, which is a necessary part of life. He advises us to embrace suffering as a necessary component of life, rather than attempting to avoid it. Buddhist philosophy, which views suffering as a chance for introspection, is comparable to this viewpoint. Instead of extending suffering via resistance, we can achieve a more permanent serenity by comprehending and accepting it. Schopenhauer believed that the secret to overcoming suffering was to accept our limitations. The perception of reality, a key idea in Schopenhauer's philosophy, is the subject of his third reflection. According to him, our perceptions are always a personal creation shaped by our thoughts, feelings, and wishes, rather than an objective truth. Every individual views the world through a different lens that is influenced by their ideas, feelings, and experiences. This suggests that a person's perception of reality may differ greatly from another's. This concept teaches us a valuable lesson. Realizing that every viewpoint is incomplete enables us to view circumstances from several angles and prevents us from taking things personally. The first step to better understanding ourselves and consequently to making more thoughtful and well-rounded decisions is acknowledging our own mental filters. In contrast, the fourth reflection examines the significance of wishes in human existence. According to Schopenhauer, the need to survive propels people to always seek out new experiences, which feeds a never-ending circle of discontent. As soon as we accomplish an objective, another need emerges. It's like never being able to find actual calm because you're always moving. Happiness, in his opinion, is merely a fleeting illusion, a time between desires. When we consider this mechanism, we are prompted to consider whether our true desires are essential or if we are only attempting to satisfy an internal need with something that eventually fails to provide long-term fulfillment. In turn, Schopenhauer's fifth lesson emphasizes the significance of regaining life's basic joys. Schopenhauer tells us that in a culture that prizes achievement, ambition, and success, true peace frequently can be found in the little things. We can find calm without making significant sacrifices, or spending a lot of money by reading an engrossing book, taking a nature walk, or listening to a heartfelt tune. We can break free from the cycle of unending desires and rediscover the beauty of the now by learning to value these small moments. The significance of health is emphasized in the sixth lesson. According to Schopenhauer, leading a happy life required both mental and bodily health. He asserted that 90% of happiness was dependent on one's health, which was more valuable than money or celebrity. In contrast to the frequently pointless material objectives that consume our time and energy, this concept challenges us to consider how much time we actually spend caring for our bodies and minds. Schopenhauer's seventh lesson addresses the connection between intellect and will. He contends that many of our daily behaviors are dictated by our irrational and instinctive will, while the intellect attempts to rationalize them, often in an illogical way. We occasionally make decisions that don't appear to make sense even to ourselves, and this division may help to explain why. Understanding this dynamic enables us to see that not everything is within the realm of reason and to cease evaluating our own wishes. It is a call to live more mindfully, recognizing our own limitations and the fact that sometimes our decisions are influenced by forces beyond of reason. We can live with greater inner peace and self-compassion if we accept this reality. The eighth reflection has a strong connection to Eastern systems like Buddhism and Hinduism, whose ideas about accepting suffering and separating wants align with Schopenhauer's philosophy. He views these customs as useful resources for living a balanced life. The concept of witnessing suffering objectively, without guilt or opposition, is very important in Buddhism. Schopenhauer appreciates this method and feels that our lives should be peacefully watched rather than dominated by pain and aspirations. This view calls for a profound comprehension of the essence of pain rather than a never-ending battle against adversity in order to bring us inner peace. We may view life more clearly and accept the ups and downs as a natural part of the journey when we embrace this mindset. Schopenhauer makes a comparison between existence and an artistic creation in the ninth reflection. For him, living is more than just existing. It's making something special and significant, like an artist does with their creations. Life is composed of daily brushstrokes, much like a painting. While some are heavy and dark, others are vivid and dazzling. All of them work together to create a larger image. Like the shadows in a painting, painful moments should not be viewed as challenges, but rather as components that enhance life and make it more genuine and authentic. In a similar vein, even fleeting moments of joy should be cherished for what they are, momentary respites that shed light on life's journey. In the end, the harmony of the whole, rather than the precision of every detail, is what counts, much like in an artistic creation. Despite being brittle and frequently negative, Schopenhauer's philosophy provides a distinctive viewpoint on how we might confront life and figure out how to handle the difficulties we all face. Please share your thoughts about Schopenhauer's theories in the comments section below if you have read this far and are feeling motivated. Keep in mind that we are all on this road together to find understanding. To see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel and enable notifications if you enjoyed the one. Until we meet again,